Have you ever found yourself standing in the kitchen, wondering how to prepare meals that keep your body strong and your mind sharp, even after 70? Perhaps you've noticed that what worked for you in your 50s no longer gives you the same energy or satiety. This shift is not your imagination. As we age, our body's protein requirements change, and meeting those needs can make a profound difference in how we feel day to day. Protein is essential for maintaining muscle mass, supporting bone health, and promoting a sense of vitality that helps us keep doing the things we love, whether that's tending the garden, walking with friends, or dancing in the living room when a favorite song comes on. Many older adults assume that feeling weak or tired is an inevitable consequence of getting older. Yet often the truth is that small adjustments in our meals can lead to big improvements in energy and strength. As a culinary advisor who spent decades working with and learning from seniors, I've seen firsthand how including more protein in the daily routine can transform not only physical well-being, but also emotional outlook. A balanced meal can boost confidence, help sustain activities that bring joy, and even improve recovery after minor health setbacks. It's no secret that each person has unique dietary preferences, especially as the years go by. Some enjoy more traditional meals, while others like experimenting with new flavors. But one common thread unites these approaches. Most of us can benefit from easy, reliable ways to get enough protein. That's why we'll look at 6 different meal prep strategies, each designed to be flexible and adaptable to individual tastes and budgets. From quick breakfast bowls to creative snack ideas, these methods don't require fancy ingredients or hours of standing at the stove. In fact, many of them save time and reduce stress, giving you more moments to enjoy the activities that truly matter. By the end of these 6 ideas, you'll have simple ways to incorporate more protein, whether you live alone with a partner or in a community setting. You'll find practical tips for batch cooking, making use of leftovers, and adding variety to your plate without sacrificing flavor. And, because it's crucial to honor each person's medical circumstances, I'll remind you along the way to consult with a healthcare provider if you're unsure about any dietary changes. This isn't a promise that more protein will solve every health challenge, but it can certainly be a valuable piece of the puzzle for staying active and independent. Before we dive in, think about what you'd most like to improve in your daily routine. Is it having more energy for a morning walk? Is it feeling satiated so you don't reach for sugary snacks in the afternoon? By keeping these personal goals in mind, you'll discover that boosting protein can be a key ingredient for aging with confidence and comfort. If that sounds appealing, stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll be ready to plan meals with ease and enthusiasm, and perhaps surprise yourself with what's still possible at any stage of life. Let's begin with a morning staple that's easy to overlook, but can set the tone for the entire day. A protein-packed breakfast that's both quick and appealing. Many seniors believe that breakfast is just toast and coffee, thinking a simple carb-based start is all they need. A friend of mine, Harold, age 74, once followed this exact habit. Every morning, he would eat a piece of white toast with a little jam and sip on a mug of black coffee. By mid-morning, however, he often felt jittery, fatigued, and hungry for something more substantial. Like many people his age, Harold thought heavier breakfasts were for the young or for those doing intense physical labor. Yet he frequently found himself dozing off in his armchair well before lunchtime. Harold decided to switch up his morning routine after noticing he couldn't finish his beloved crossword puzzles without getting tired or unfocused. He suspected something was missing in his diet, but wasn't sure where to start. That's when a nutrition-savvy neighbor suggested he focus on adding just one ingredient: eggs. Initially, Harold resisted because he remembered advice from decades ago warning against eating eggs regularly. But current health guidelines have evolved to recognize that eggs can be a rich source of protein and other nutrients, particularly for those aiming to maintain muscle mass. Harold began by preparing a small batch of hard-boiled eggs each week, keeping them in the fridge so they were ready whenever he needed a quick morning boost. After a few weeks of consistently including an egg with his breakfast, sometimes scrambled with vegetables, sometimes simply hard-boiled, Harold noticed he had more steady energy. He also felt more satisfied, reducing the urge for an early snack. This subtle shift changed how he viewed the first meal of the day. He realized that adding protein doesn't require a complicated recipe or extra cooking time. It only requires a little planning. You can replicate Harold's approach by setting aside time, maybe on a Sunday, to cook half a dozen eggs or prepare a small egg-based casserole loaded with spinach and cheese. That way you can warm up a portion each morning in minutes. These protein-packed breakfast bowls or egg-based dishes do more than simply stave off hunger. They can help stabilize your blood sugar, which in turn supports more consistent energy levels. There's also an emotional benefit. Starting the day feeling nourished can enhance your mood and reduce those nagging doubts about slowing down. While eggs are a tried and true option, you can also explore Greek yogurt topped with nuts or seeds, or even a tofu scramble if you prefer plant-based proteins. The key is ensuring that your first meal lays a solid nutritional foundation for whatever the day may bring. Moving from morning to midday, let's consider the idea of batch cooking lean proteins. Some seniors assume preparing multiple servings of meat, fish, or tofu at once is too much effort or will lead to wasted food. But consider this scenario. Beth, who's 77, used to cook only single servings because she lived alone. She felt that cooking in bulk was for large families and didn't fit her smaller household. Yet she frequently found herself resorting to processed freezer meals or canned soups on busy days, or days when she felt too tired to stand in the kitchen for long. Over time, Beth noticed these quick fixes were high in sodium and provided minimal protein, and she felt bloated or undernourished as a result. One Sunday, inspired by a suggestion from her daughter, Beth decided to roast a few chicken breasts with simple seasonings, plus a tray of vegetables. She sliced the chicken and stored it in individual containers. For variety, she also baked a portion of firm tofu, drizzled with a low-sodium soy sauce marinade. The entire process took about an hour, including prep and cleanup. Throughout the week, Beth discovered how easy it was to combine these pre-cooked proteins with quick sides, like a small salad or some microwave frozen vegetables, for a balanced meal. This simple shift not only ensured that she had a reliable source of protein ready to go, but it also saved her precious energy on days when standing too long at the stove felt daunting. What may surprise you is how emotionally freeing it can be to open your fridge and see a ready-to-assemble lunch or dinner. It removes the stress of, what do I cook today? And reduces the temptation to reach for less nutritious options when fatigue sets in. Many people notice they feel more independent when they plan this way, less reliant on expensive takeout or high-sodium canned goods. If you're concerned about drying out meats when reheating them, try adding a splash of broth or a small amount of sauce, which can help maintain flavor and texture. If you haven't already thought about it, I'd love to know what your usual lunch routine looks like. Have you tried cooking your proteins in batches before? Feel free to share your thoughts so we can all learn different tricks that make senior life a bit easier. Shifting gears a bit, let's explore an approach to meal prep that often goes overlooked, incorporating dairy or dairy alternatives in clever ways. It's common for seniors to think, I'm past the age of drinking milk daily, or to feel they have outgrown the need for dairy-based foods. Some even avoid them due to digestive discomfort. But Anna, who is 76, discovered that lactose intolerance doesn't necessarily mean avoiding all dairy. After experiencing stomach upset for years, she learned that lactose-free milk and certain aged cheeses like cheddar or Parmesan caused her fewer issues. Plus, she realized how these ingredients could quickly boost the protein content of her meals. Anna began adding a splash of lactose-free milk to her soups and sauces, effectively increasing their creaminess and protein. She also grated a bit of Parmesan over roasted vegetables to provide extra flavor and a protein bump. For those who truly prefer dairy-free options, soy milk, almond milk, or pea protein-based products can serve a similar function. The key is to choose varieties fortified with calcium and vitamin D, especially since bone density becomes a concern as we get older. Anna found that by using these alternatives in her homemade soups, or even in oatmeal, she could enjoy a creamy texture without the digestive troubles. Emotionally, this strategy also helped Anna reconnect with the comforting tastes and textures she loved. She no longer felt like she had to give up her favorite creamy dishes simply because she was 76. Instead, she adapted them to fit her body's current needs. Dairy and dairy alternatives can be used in everything from mashed potatoes to smoothie bowls, offering a smoother way to swallow for those who have trouble chewing harder meats. And for people concerned about cholesterol or other dietary restrictions, there are numerous low-fat or plant-based alternatives that still bring the protein. When you make your own soups or sauces in bulk, you can freeze them in single-serving portions, ensuring you have a nutrient-rich meal on hand whenever you need it. Now let's see how a simple pantry staple can turn into a high-protein meal. Legumes. Many seniors believe beans, lentils, and chickpeas are just filler foods that cause bloating. That misconception often leads them to miss out on a highly versatile source of protein and fiber. A good example is Roger, age 78, who had always seen beans as an afterthought, a side dish his mother served only during tough economic times. After a routine checkup revealed rising cholesterol levels, Roger's doctor recommended incorporating more plant-based proteins. Skeptical but curious, Roger decided to experiment with lentils in a one-pot stew. He added vegetables, low-sodium broth, and a few simple spices. The result was a hearty, nourishing meal that he could eat for lunch or dinner over several days. Beyond being budget-friendly, legumes offer an emotional win. They can evoke memories of home-cooked comfort while aligning with modern health needs. The fiber in beans supports digestive health, which is crucial for many seniors dealing with slower digestion. They also provide a low-fat source of protein that can help manage weight and support heart health. For those worried about bloating, soaking beans overnight or using canned beans labeled low sodium and rinsing them thoroughly can help reduce digestive discomfort. If you want even more convenience, you can batch cook a large pot of beans or lentils, then portion them into freezer bags for later use. They reheat well and can be tossed into salads, blended into spreads, or mixed into soups to instantly boost protein. Before we continue, think about any pantry items you already have that might be overlooked. Are there cans of chickpeas waiting to be transformed into a hearty stew or a protein-packed salad topping? Giving these items a chance could open up entirely new mealtime possibilities. If you've already tried legumes, I'd love to hear your favorite ways to prepare them, especially if you have a secret spice blend or cooking trick that makes them extra tasty. Fish often ranks high as a heart-healthy protein, yet some seniors rarely cook it due to concerns about cost, smell, or complexity in the kitchen. However, Rhonda, who turned 72 last spring, found that adding fish to her routine twice a week was surprisingly accessible once she mastered a few basic techniques. She started with individually wrapped fillets of salmon, which she could season lightly with lemon and herbs. Baking them in foil packets ensured minimal odor and easy cleanup. Rhonda also discovered canned tuna and canned salmon as convenient options for salads or sandwiches, providing a solid dose of protein and healthy fats without breaking the bank. Over time, she noticed improved energy levels, particularly during her afternoon stretches and light yoga routines. This boost is partly attributed to the omega-3 fatty acids in fish, which have been associated with benefits like supporting brain health and possibly reducing inflammation in the body. On an emotional level, Rhonda felt more vibrant, knowing she was proactively caring for her health. She no longer saw fish as a luxury meal, but rather as an investment in her well-being. For those with dietary preferences or allergies, many of the benefits can also be found in plant sources of omega-3s, such as flax seeds or chia seeds, though the protein content may differ. A simple meal prep tip is to buy a few fillets at once, season and freeze them individually, then thaw them as needed. Alternatively, keep a few cans of tuna or salmon in the pantry for quick lunches, mixed with a little Greek yogurt, chopped celery, and herbs. They create a protein-packed spread. These small steps can streamline your routine, making it easy to say yes to fish twice a week. The result is not only a tastier menu, but also the satisfaction of actively supporting heart health and cognitive function as you age. Now and then, it's valuable to pause and consider how far you've come. Have you found any of these ideas especially doable? Maybe you're realizing fish isn't as complicated as you once believed, or you're seeing new ways to use that bag of lentils hiding in the pantry. Sharing your experiences and even your hesitations can help others feel motivated to try something new. We're all in this journey together, and your insight could be the spark that ignites someone else's newfound love for a protein-rich meal. The final strategy focuses on preparing high-protein snacks in advance. Many seniors think that snacks are either junk food or unnecessary extra calories. But Jim, who is 80, discovered that having a small, protein-rich snack between meals helped him maintain steady energy for his afternoon activities. Instead of mindlessly reaching for potato chips, Jim started making a batch of homemade protein bites each week using peanut butter, oats, and chopped nuts. Alternatively, he'd prepare little containers of cottage cheese mixed with berries or portion out roasted chickpeas. What he found was that these snacks did more than just ward off hunger. They improved his ability to stay alert through his daily volunteer work at the local library. The emotional upside is significant here. Feeling a sharp dip in energy can be discouraging, especially when you have responsibilities or hobbies you want to enjoy. A quick, healthy snack can act like a little reset button, keeping you on track and preventing that mid-afternoon slump. It also encourages consistency in protein intake, which can help maintain muscle mass, particularly important if you're trying to stay active or regain strength after an illness. If you don't do well with nuts, there are plenty of alternatives like low-fat cheese sticks, hummus with veggie sticks, or hard-boiled eggs. Preparing these options ahead of time is key. When they're easily accessible, you're less likely to reach for less nutritious choices out of convenience. There's also a sense of autonomy that comes with stocking your fridge or pantry with wholesome snacks. It's a simple form of self-care, signaling that you respect your body's needs. This empowerment can go a long way in fostering a positive relationship with food, turning it into a tool for wellness rather than a source of worry or guilt. When you make your own snacks, you control the ingredients and can tailor them to your personal tastes. Whether that means adding a bit of spice, incorporating dark chocolate shavings, or using sugar-free nut butter. These 6 approaches, starting with protein-rich breakfasts, batch cooking lean proteins, using dairy or dairy alternatives creatively, adding legumes to your rotation, incorporating fish, and preparing high-protein snacks, offer a versatile toolkit for staying well-nourished as you move through your 70s and beyond. Summing them up can feel like we've covered a lot, but they all revolve around the same principle. A little bit of planning can make eating well much simpler than many people realize. It's natural to wonder if implementing these changes is truly urgent. After all, you might feel relatively healthy right now, or you might worry you're too old to make a significant difference in your diet. But consider how each small step can help preserve muscle strength, improve bone health, and give you the extra energy you need to enjoy life's little pleasures. Picture yourself a month from now with a fridge stocked full of ready-to-go proteins, a spice cabinet brimming with new ideas, and the confidence that you're fueling your body in a way that supports independence. The urgency isn't about scaring you into action. It's about recognizing that every day is an opportunity to invest in your comfort and vitality. If you feel intimidated by the idea of overhauling your meals, remember that you can start small. Maybe try cooking just a couple of extra chicken breasts next time you turn on the oven, or experiment with a simple lentil soup recipe once this week. Incremental changes add up, and before you know it, you'll have developed habits that make healthy meal prep feel second nature. For those who want to dive deeper, you could keep a small notebook to track how you feel after incorporating more protein. Notice if your afternoon energy levels improve or if your evening cravings diminish. If you see positive shifts, that's your cue to keep going. There are multiple ways to take action right now, depending on how comfortable you are with these ideas. If you're feeling cautious, simply pick one meal prep method, like boiling eggs for breakfast, and see how it fits into your routine. If you're a bit more adventurous, try 2 strategies at once, perhaps batch cooking lean protein and stocking up on high-protein snacks. If you're fully committed and ready to transform your habits, you might plan out an entire week's menu around these protein-boosting tips. You can also share this video or these ideas with a friend who's on a similar journey, turning it into a mutual support system that makes the process more enjoyable. Above all, remember that your wisdom and experience are powerful tools. You know your body better than anyone else. By being intentional about the meals you prep and how you nourish yourself, you continue to shape your journey with confidence. This isn't about perfection or strict rules. It's about making choices that respect where you are in life while still embracing the possibility of improvement. Whether you're motivated by a desire to travel more comfortably, keep up with grandkids, or simply enjoy your quiet moments without fatigue, These high-protein meal prep ideas can be a friendly companion along the way. Thank you for joining me in exploring these 6 practical ways to boost protein intake. As always, it's wise to discuss any major dietary changes with a trusted healthcare provider, especially if you have underlying health conditions or specific medication requirements. But don't let that caution hold you back from experimenting with flavors and techniques that suit your palate. Let this be an invitation to grow stronger, stay active, and savor the richness of good food in every chapter of life.